are getting closer and closer, Celtics fans. We're just 5 days away from the Boston Celtics opening up the 25-26 regular season. And in preparation for that, Brad Stevens, we know, does not sleep. He made a bunch of roster moves here to round out Boston's unit ahead of the 25-26 campaign. On the back half of today's show, we're going to talk about Joe Mazzulla and the rotation that he looks to employ this upcoming season, or lack thereof. No rotation for the Celtics? What does that even mean? We're going to tell you in a little bit. First, though, let's hop into these roster moves and tell you how this C's team has been ironed out. As you know, Exhibit 10 contracts get signed late in the offseason, and players come along for some training camp deals to give the Celtics starters and some their active roster players a little bit of run in practice. And usually you like to bring in some real athletic, untapped players in that scenario, and they did so, bringing in Wendell Moore, the former Duke Blue Devil, Jalen Bridges, and Kendall Brown, two guys who played with them in the Summer League in Vegas this past July, and all three of them were waived. Now, what happens when Exhibit 10 players are waived? Well, most of the time, more often than not, they go to the G League for the season here, and I presume that all three of these players will play most of, if not the entire season, with the main Celtics there in the G. Another player who probably could be seeing some G League time this upcoming season is R.J. Lewis, but not with the Boston Celtics, as he was on a two-way deal acquired back in the offseason in the Georges Niang trade, where Boston kind of just dumped that entire $8 million salary and sent it over to the Utah Jazz, returning R.J. Lewis, the former Big East Player of the Year last year with the St. John's Red Storm. He's an absolute bucket getter, efficient three-point shooter, but didn't look like he fit the best with the Celtics here as they look to waive him and offer his two-way spot to another guy. I anticipate that R.J. Lewis will find his landing spot somewhere in this league. I mean, you can never not need scoring, and this guy can absolutely do it, but maybe that turnover late in his last preseason appearance for Boston sealed his fate with the C's. We're going to tell you who replaced him on a two-way deal in just a moment. First, though, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. No matter how big, no matter how small the move that the Celtics make, we are going to make a video about it. So subscribe, turn notifications on so you never miss a moment, and so you don't miss our watch parties that are coming back this upcoming season. We'll be live on Wednesday for the Celtics season opener against the Philadelphia 76ers. So tune in for that and help us reach our next milestone by then if you're new to the channel. We're trying to hit 54,000 subscribers by opening night, and we need 207 diehard C's fans to go help us do it. If you love the Celtics and you want free content every day, this is the spot for you. Subscribe. So replacing R.J. Lewis on the two-way list for your Boston Celtics is Ron Harper Jr. And we made a video discussing the signing of Ron Harper Jr., who was originally brought in on an Exhibit 10 contract like the guys who we just saw waived. But now he takes this two-way slot, formerly occupied by R.J. Lewis, a 6'6 wing, just absolute bucket getter out of Rutgers. I watched this guy play for 4 years. I watched him play in high school as well. He grew up locally to me around that tri-state area. Also spent time with the Raptors and Pistons in his NBA days. Was undrafted back in 2022. But as far as his experience with the Boston Celtics and around the organization, he actually played a couple of games in Maine last year at their G League affiliate. Averaged 23 points a night, 4 boards, and 2 assists. So, there's clearly some familiarity. I'm sure Matt Reynolds and Phil Pressey and a couple of guys up there were loving what they saw from Ron Harper Jr., and it seems like he's shown out in the preseason as well for Boston. In the 32 minutes that he's played, he's been pretty solid for the most part. 13 points. If you saw this, and these are the numbers that he was putting up in 30 minutes of action in an NBA game, I think we would all be pretty okay with the output here from Ron Harper Jr. So in the 30 minutes that he's played across 3 games, put up 13 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, 4 of 10 from the field. But let's be honest, Ron Harper Jr., with the way that he likes to score the basketball, is going to be taking a lot of shots with a lot of high level of difficulty and whatnot. And you know what? From beyond the three-point arc, he was efficient as hell, too. Shot a 43% clip, 3 for 7 from long range, and it looks like that was enough for him to get a two-way slot here with the Boston Celtics. We will see him at some point play with the active Celtics roster in Boston, but based on his NBA career thus far, how much can we really project? It's most of the action that he's gotten in the 9 games that he's played throughout his career, garbage time minutes, end of season type of scenarios, and he's never really even played more than 10, 15 minutes in any of the ball games that he's appeared in. So, we don't have too much to go off of here, but I know one thing, this guy can put the ball in the basket. It doesn't show by his efficiencies, but it's so hard to get into a rhythm or really, play an efficient brand of basketball when you're in these ugly blowout end of game type of scenario. So I'm excited to see what type of opportunity that Ron Harper Jr. gets this year because, for the G League and the production he's put up there, he's pretty solid, man. Put up 18 points a night last year. Shot the 3-ball at a 39% clip on volume, people. 9 3-point attempts per game, and this guy was putting them in 4 out of 10 times. You can't ask for much better than that, especially in the G League where there isn't the most efficient offensive basketball being played either. He showed out, and he showed that he probably belongs in the association at some point, and now he's landing with the Boston Celtics. So with that being said, officially welcome him to the Boston Celtics. We spammed our shams for Ron Harper Jr. when he signed the Exhibit 10, but now he's officially a Boston Celtic, number 13. Maybe throw that in the comment section as well. But get your shamrocks down below to officially welcome Ron Harper Jr. to Beantown. Harper now fills out the three-man unit of Amari Williams, Max Shulga, and now Harper Jr. there to round out the Boston Celtics two-way deals. Amari Williams and Max Shulga, obviously the two Celtics second-round draft picks this year. As far as the impact that I could see from both of those two guys on the C's team this upcoming season, I don't think it's going to be too much. I will project Amari Williams to maybe receive a little bit more of an opportunity potentially, given the Celtics' uncertainty in the front court and potential injury history down there as well. I love what Amari Williams does with the ball in his hands as a passer, a rebounder, and a shot blocker as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in action this upcoming season, even if it is a pretty small sample size. And Ron Harper Jr., Max Shulga, they can get some buckets as well. Now, coming up next, we're going to talk about these three guys and how they may factor into Joe Mazzulla's rotation, or lack thereof. It doesn't look like Joe Mazzulla is, really playing a conventional brand of basketball this upcoming season with your Boston Celtics. That around the corner. First, though, I got to tell you guys about some awesome deals about your Celtics hats. You guys got to get these as they're flying off the shelves. Love this corduroy one with the script. Love this throwback one with the colored brim as well. All these hats and more, they're just my favorite picks. Chatsports.com/Celtics hats. This khaki one's awesome for the autumn and fall seasons as well. You can get all these and so much more. A bunch of them are on sale as well. Go to this link right here, chatsports.com/Celtics hats, to get yours today. That link is in the comment section and description of today's video. Joe Mazzulla, no rotation. What does that even mean? Like, does that mean that, he's just going to play everybody every single night? Does that mean that, some guys here are going to play some nights, some guys there are going to play some nights? I don't know what Joe Mazzulla is thinking. He is one of the biggest enigmas when it comes to the sport. Here's what he had to say. He said, listen, every time you have a team, a strength, and a weakness, they can be very similar to those things, right? I think one of our strengths is the depth that we have. We may have a little inexperience, we may have newness, but I think depth and I think the ability to not have a rotation is a strength because you can go to fresh guys. You can go to a bunch of different guys. You can go to a bunch of different things. So we're in that early stages of that, but I'm not sure that we will have a rotation. I think that can actually be a good thing for us. Well, what does that exactly mean? Like, I kind of tried to boil it down to this. This Celtics roster is unlike any that we've seen pretty much in the past 10 years, dating back all the way to what? The 2017-18 squad. And that team wasn't even supposed to have as much youth injected into it as it did when Kyrie and Gordon Hayward went down. I mean, you really got to look back all the way to, I don't know, the early Brad Stevens days, like the right after KG, Paul Pierce, and Rondo's leading the squad days. Like, those are some dark times. I don't think it's going to be dark times this year, but it's a similar kind of thing where basically everybody is as deserving of an opportunity to go out there and get on the floor. So the Celtics have the luxury of doing that. They've signed a bunch of guys to cheap deals, like a Josh Minott, Luka Garza. They have a bunch of young talent coming in as well, Hugo Gonzalez, and a bunch of other cats too. Like, they have the opportunity to just throw everything at the wall. Go play everybody. Like, this is the most youthful, untapped, and unproven Celtics team as far as the supporting cast goes in the last decade. So take advantage of it. Play into it and see what you have with all of your guys. Now, there is going to be, like Joe Mazzulla says there's no rotation. There is obviously going to be guys who are guaranteed to play the bulk of the minutes or just most of the games that are on the schedule. Now, I threw this graphic up about having opening night starters here. The only reason I have a question mark on it is because Jalen Brown's got that hammy going on right now. If he cannot go, slide Sam Hauser right in there to that starting small forward spot. But Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, JB, Chris Boucher, who we're all seeing have a major impact in the preseason and within the locker room, and Neemias Queta there starting at the center. I expect all these guys to play pretty much every single game that they're healthy for this upcoming season. And then there's going to be a couple of guys off of the bench that are going to be guaranteed to get minutes as well. Anthony Simons, I mean, especially if there's going to be time missed by Jalen Brown, we need that type of scoring punch in the lineup. So he's going to be playing a whole heck of a lot. Plus, the Celtics want to trade him down the line, so they're going to have to play him and boost his trade value and show him off to all these teams and what he can do offensively, as well as Sam Hauser, who we know was held out of trade conversations this offseason. He's on a great contract. He can shoot the three ball at a 43% clip. Obviously, he's going to play. Joe Mazzulla loves his defense as well. I think it's an underrated facet of his game. So, of course, he's going to be playing somewhere in the realm of 20-plus minutes per night as well. I would say that nothing after that is really guaranteed. I'd say that one of Xavier Tillman, shout out to him for that buzzer beater, shout out to him for looking fresh and healthy and rejuvenated here on the Celtics roster, as well as Luka Garza. I don't think that they're going to play, all 70 games that they could potentially be healthy for. I'd say one of them plays most nights. I'm sure we'll see both of them on a lot of scenarios as well. But I don't think they're going to be a bona fide must play in the rotation every single night type of guy, because the Celtics can go to Chris Boucher for small ball fives. They can go to Neemias Queta in single big lineups. So there's just a lot of ways they can go about things. They don't have to play 4 different bigs every night, especially when they're not the most talented group out there. I am expecting a bunch of different lineup combinations, though, like stuff that we couldn't even fathom a year ago watching our Celtics. There's going to be a million different lineup combos out there. I'm sure we're going to run lineups that include Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, and Anthony Simons. We're going to be screaming our heads off because who is defending in that lineup besides Derek White? There's going to be, maybe even some small ball Jalen Brown at the 4 and the 5. Try to run him like a Tatum and to really space out the floor. I think Joe Mazzulla is going to throw everything at the wall this upcoming season. A year of experimentation, and I can't wait for it. If you can't wait for it either, if you're ready for opening night, which is in 5 days, go down below and show me. Smash that thumbs up icon. Like today's video because, I'm fired up for Boston Celtics basketball. If you're watching this video right now, you should be too. Hit the like button. Make sure you give me a follow over on Twitter at Tyler J. Smith. 2 H's because the name's common, but I am not. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. That will do it for today's edition of Celtics Today by Chat Sports. YouTube.com/Celtics TV for the latest and greatest on your C's all season long. We'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, let's go C's.